We've been growing fruit here in the family business for almost 100 years now.
The orchardists and farmers that we're dealing with now, many of are sons of the fathers that I did business with and are really leading sustainability in the orchard by adopting new growing techniques, certainly new equipment.
You're always trying to create a competitive advantage in a way, so you're always trying to learn new techniques and new ways of doing things.
Gone through a lot of ups and downs, obviously, and we're in a real down right now, trying to figure out ways to save money.
In the business world that we're in now, margins are much smaller. You have to be innovative to survive.
So there's many ways now that orchardists are trying to expose the fruit to light to get them to color. The more color that you get on an apple, the more that it's worth, the higher value it is, the more appealing it is to consumers.
In some varieties, we come behind and actually strip the leaves off the trees around the apples. It's very time consuming. Takes us about 14 guys to do an acre in a day.
Traditionally, we put down mylar in our orchard rows to try to reflect the sunlight back up into the tree and color the apples.
The light hits the foil and reflects it up under the tree and colors the side of the apple that doesn't ever see the sun. We spend 150 bucks an acre on the mylar, 50 to put it down and 100 to pick it up, and then we have to haul it to the landfill, and it's very costly, and a lot of man hours go into it. In this last winter, my cousin Macker and I saw this video on YouTube of a leaf stripper, an Olmi leaf stripper. We talked about it all winter and how it would be interesting to try it. We contacted Greg Hamilton and asked him if he could bring one in from Italy so we could try it.
Worked with Olmi, and they were willing if we would buy one to send one here on consignment. And if we ended up not liking them at all we had to do was pay the freight to send that other one back.
We like to try new technology around here, and so our operators are pretty used to trying new things. There's a balance between blowing everything off the tree and just blowing the right stuff off the tree.
The adjustments of the machine is where you really benefit, because you can move in and out and not damage fruit, not pulling off limbs. You can get your heads right up close to them and you can blow off a lot of leaves. You have your up and down, you have horizontal, you have tilt, and you have individual adjustments for each head, which gives you pitch out and in.
We've been using it now for 2 weeks and it's working really well. Right now, as near as I can tell, we're doing about an acre an hour with one guy. The color has changed so much, you would think that we already put the mylar down. We're actually hopeful that we may not need mylar in the future. We'll have the machine paid off by the end of next week, so after about the 3rd week, it's already almost paid for itself. We'll definitely be adding a few more machines next year.
So a month into it, we're already trying things that we couldn't think about before with the high cost of labor. First of all, we wouldn't go out in an orchard unless it was a high value crop to pick the leaves. But now we're going out into many, many acres, and we're doing it 24 hours a day with multiple shifts, running this Olmi machine day and night. We can just go full speed and we're getting through tons of acres here.
We felt last year that it was just a huge hit right off the bat. We did notice that there was areas that could improve.
We had a couple things that we asked if they could improve upon, and they have. One being we asked for better maneuverability in V trellises. So now that we know it works on an I trellis, we wanted to implement it in all of our V trellises as well.
Oftentimes you're working with manufacturers and they think their product is perfect. Well, Olmi wasn't like that. They listened to what we had to say with the product.
We actually met with the owners in January of this year. They showed us from the input that we had given them from the year before, a new product that they were working on that would work in the V trellis where we really needed it to work.
And they created the 509 for us. It's a model that's designed not only for vertical, but it's designed for this V trellis. It doesn't have the crossbars. This actually is on a one pivot. You can use it vertically or you can use it on the V trellis itself. When we gave them the dimensions of what a V trellis was, they matched that to a T or to a V.
They also upgraded the handle. It incorporates 3 functions into one so that you can adjust on the fly easier, whether you're going from I trellis straight up or angling it into those V trellis to get the right impact on the leaves.
The ability to go from one orchard to the next with one implement makes all the difference in the world.
The first model, we had to use it on our big tractors with high RPMs. We asked for a system that could provide less stress to the tractor.
And one thing they did was change the PTO gearbox, the reduction gearbox. They changed it to a bigger one, and we can now run the tractor at lower RPM and still get the leaves blown off like we need to.
Even with the lower stress on the tractor, the lower RPMs, we're getting better leaf elimination.
What we thought was a great line to begin with, we think will take off tremendously even more with the new model.
We're interested in the next generation. We want to get it into more of our orchards. We're seeing good results. We're getting the leaves off the tree while keeping the fruit in good condition. We like what we see, and we're excited to implement more of these systems as we go forward.